I'm sitting in Dr. Chen's office, staring at the white walls covered with medical certificates. My knee throbs, the same knee I injured during basketball practice 3 months ago. Dr. Chen smiles warmly, tapping his pen against my file. "Jordan, the surgery is necessary," he says, his voice smooth and confident. "We'll schedule it for 6 a.m. next Tuesday. You'll be back on the court in no time." I nod, trusting him completely. After all, he's been my doctor since I was 12. My mom loves him. The whole neighborhood praises him. He's supposed to be the best orthopedic surgeon in the city. But something feels off. The way he avoids eye contact when explaining the procedure. The way his nurse, Rebecca, keeps glancing at me nervously. I shake the feeling away, convincing myself I'm just anxious about going under the knife. "Don't worry," Dr. Chen adds, standing up. "Everything will be fine. Just follow the pre-surgery instructions I gave you. No food or water after midnight." I leave his office with a pit in my stomach. Something doesn't sit right, but I can't put my finger on what. Growing up, I was never the kid who questioned adults. My older brother, Tyler, was always the rebellious one, challenging teachers, arguing with our parents, pushing boundaries. I was the quiet one, the peacekeeper. Mom used to say, "Jordan, you're so easy. Tyler gives me gray hairs, but you're my calm." I didn't mind being in Tyler's shadow. He was loud, confident, popular. I preferred staying behind the scenes, focusing on my grades and basketball. While he threw parties, I studied for exams. While he dated half the school, I kept my head down. But Tyler noticed things I didn't. He had this instinct about people, when someone was lying, when something felt wrong. I remember him warning me about my ex-friend, Derek, months before Derek stole money from my locker. "You're too trusting, Jordan," Tyler told me once. "Not everyone has good intentions." Monday night, I follow the pre-surgery instructions. No food after midnight. My stomach growls as I lie in bed, trying to sleep. Mum's in the guest room. She insisted on staying over to drive me to the hospital. Around 2 a.m., I hear something. Voices downstairs. I creep to my bedroom door, pressing my ear against it. Mum's talking to someone on the phone. Her voice is tense, almost angry. "I don't care what he says," she whispers harshly. "This needs to happen. We can't afford to wait any longer." My heart races. Who is she talking to? What needs to happen? Then she says something that makes my blood run cold. "The insurance money will cover everything. Jordan won't know until it's done." Insurance money? My surgery is covered by my company's health plan. What is she talking about? I hear her footsteps on the stairs and quickly jump back into bed, pretending to sleep. She opens my door slightly, peeks in, then closes it softly. I lie awake the rest of the night, my mind racing with questions. At 4:30 a.m., my alarm goes off. Mum's already awake, making coffee in the kitchen. She seems nervous, fidgeting with her keys and checking her phone repeatedly. "Ready?" she asks, forcing a smile. I nod, but inside, I'm panicking. Something is very wrong. The conversation I overheard keeps replaying in my mind. Insurance money. Jordan won't know until it's done. We drive in silence. The hospital is only 20 minutes away, but it feels like hours. I glance at Mom. She's gripping the steering wheel so tight her knuckles are white. "Mom," I say carefully, "what exactly is happening today? Walk me through the surgery." She hesitates. "Dr. Chen explained it all, honey. It's just a routine knee procedure." "But what kind of procedure?" I don't remember all the medical terms. You know how doctors talk. That's odd. Mom's a nurse. She knows medical terminology better than most people. Why is she being vague? We pull into the hospital parking lot at 5:15 a.m. My stomach churns. Something tells me I shouldn't go inside. But I push the feeling down, trusting that everything will be okay. We check in at the surgical wing. A nurse I've never seen before hands me a clipboard with forms. I scan through them quickly, standard consent forms, liability waivers, The usual paperwork. Then I see it. Buried in the third page, in tiny print, patient consents to organ donation screening during procedure. Organ donation screening? For a knee surgery? My hands start shaking. I look up at Mom, but she's turned away, talking quietly with another nurse. I read the line again, my heart pounding. "Excuse me," I say to the nurse at the desk. "What's this about organ donation?" She glances at the form, then at me, confusion crossing her face. "Oh, that's just standard language. It's on all surgical consent forms." "But why would a knee surgery require organ donation screening?" She pauses, clearly uncomfortable. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask Dr. Chen. "Where is Dr. Chen?" "He's in pre-op. You'll see him before the procedure." I set the clipboard down. "I need to use the bathroom first." Mom reaches for my arm. "Jordan, we don't have much time." "I'll be quick." I walk toward the restrooms, but my mind is racing. Something is very, very wrong. Instead of going to the bathroom, I duck into a stairwell. My phone is in my pocket, they haven't taken it yet. I pull it out and search, organ donation screening during surgery. The results make my stomach drop. Organ screening is typically done when doctors suspect a patient might be a candidate for donation, either as a recipient or a donor. It's not standard for routine orthopedic procedures. I search for Dr. Chen's name and add organ donation, nothing comes up. Then I try Dr. Chen malpractice, still nothing. But when I search Dr. Chen lawsuit, something catches my eye. A small news article from 2 years ago. My hands tremble as I read it. Local surgeon Dr. Richard Chen settles lawsuit with family after alleged unauthorized procedure. Details sealed. Unauthorized procedure. My blood runs cold. I hear footsteps in the hallway. Mom's voice calling my name. I silence my phone and think fast. If I go through with the surgery, something bad will happen. I can feel it in my bones. I have two choices, trust Dr. Chen and my mother, or trust my gut. I wait until Mom walks past the stairwell, still calling my name. Then I slip out a side door I noticed earlier. The hospital is waking up, staff arriving for morning shifts, delivery trucks unloading supplies. I blend in with a group of people heading to the parking garage. My heart hammers in my chest. I'm still in my pre-surgery clothes, sweatpants and a hoodie. No shoes except my sneakers. I reach the parking lot and start walking. I don't have a plan. I just know I can't go through with that surgery. My phone buzzes. Mom's calling. I ignore it. She calls again. And again. Then a text. "Jordan, where are you? Dr. Chen is looking for you." I turn my phone off and keep walking. The sun is starting to rise, painting the sky orange and pink. I'm 3 blocks from the hospital when I finally stop to catch my breath. What am I doing? Am I overreacting? Maybe the form was just standard paperwork. Maybe I'm paranoid because of what I overheard last night. But then I remember Mom's words, "Jordan won't know until it's done." No. I made the right choice. I need answers before I'll let anyone cut me open. I walk to a coffee shop and use their Wi-Fi. First, I call Tyler. He answers on the second ring, his voice groggy. "Jordan? What's wrong? Aren't you supposed to be in surgery?" "I need your help," I say quietly. "Something's not right." I tell him everything, the consent form, Mom's phone call, Dr. Chen's strange behavior. Tyler listens without interrupting, which is unusual for him. "Stay where you are," he says finally. "I'm coming to get you. Don't go back to that hospital." But what if I'm wrong? What if? Jordan, listen to me. You've never been the paranoid type. If your gut is telling you something's off, trust it. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I hang up and order a coffee. I can't afford to calm my nerves. My phone is still off. I can only imagine how frantic Mom must be. The barista gives me a strange look. I probably look like I just escaped from somewhere. Which, technically, I did. I sit in the corner, replaying everything in my mind. What could Dr. Chen possibly want with my organs? I'm healthy, young, And wait, I'm a universal donor. Type O negative blood. I donated blood once in college, and they told me I was rare, that my blood could save lives. Could that be it? Tyler arrives exactly 20 minutes later, bursting through the coffee shop door. He spots me immediately and rushes over, pulling me into a tight hug. "You scared the hell out of me," he says, sitting across from me. "Okay, talk. Tell me everything again, slowly." I walk him through the entire situation. He listens carefully, his expression darkening with each detail. "We need to find out what's really going on," Tyler says. "Do you have any friends who work in hospitals?" I think for a moment. "Yeah, actually. Lisa, remember her from high school? She's a surgical nurse at Memorial Hospital downtown. Call her. Now." I borrow Tyler's phone and dial Lisa's number. She answers cheerfully, surprised to hear from me. "Jordan. Long time. What's up?" "Lisa, I need your help. It's urgent." I explain the situation without giving too many details. "Can you look up a doctor for me? Dr. Richard Chen?" She hesitates. "I mean, I can check our database. Give me a second." I hear typing in the background. Then silence. "Jordan," she says slowly, "where are you right now? Why? What did you find?" "Dr. Chen's medical license was suspended 6 months ago." My heart stops. "What?" "Suspended pending investigation. I can't see the details, but it's flagged in our system. Jordan, you can't let him operate on you." Tyler and I sit in stunned silence after I hang up. Suspended license. That means Dr. Chen has been practicing illegally for months, including treating me. "We need to go to the police," Tyler says firmly. "But what about Mom? She's involved somehow." Tyler's jaw tightens. "Then we'll figure that out too. But first, we need to stop whatever's happening at that hospital." We drive to the police station. I'm terrified, my mind spinning with questions. Why would Mom be part of this? What was Dr. Chen planning to do to me? At the station, we're directed to Detective Sarah Brooks. She's in her 40s, with sharp eyes and a no-nonsense attitude. I tell her everything, the consent form, the suspended license, Mom's strange phone call. She listens carefully, taking notes. "This is serious," she says. "If Dr. Chen is practicing with a suspended license, he's committing a crime. The organ donation screening is even more concerning." "What do you think he was planning?" I ask, my voice shaking. She exchanges a glance with her partner. "We need to investigate. But off the record, it sounds like he might have been planning an unauthorized organ harvesting." The room spins. Organ harvesting. From me. Detective Brooks makes some calls while Tyler and I wait in a conference room. I'm numb, unable to process what's happening. My own doctor, someone I trusted for years, was planning to steal my organs? And Mom? What was her role in this? After 20 minutes, Detective Brooks returns with her partner, Detective Martinez. "We've contacted the hospital," she says. "Dr. Chen is no longer on the premises. He left shortly after you disappeared. We've issued a warrant for his arrest." "What about my mom?" I ask quietly. She sits down across from me. "Jordan, I need to ask you something. Does your mother have any financial problems that you know of?" I think back. She's been stressed about money lately. Dad died 3 years ago, and his life insurance wasn't much. She's been working double shifts at the clinic. That might explain her involvement, Detective Martinez says gently. Organ trafficking is a lucrative black market. If Dr. Chen promised her money in exchange for bringing you in. I feel sick. My own mother was going to let someone harvest my organs for cash. "We need to bring her in for questioning," Detective Brooks says. "Can you tell us where she might be?" I give them Mom's address and phone number. I feel like I'm betraying her, but she betrayed me first. They find Mom within 2 hours. She's still at the hospital, frantically searching for me. When Detective Brooks brings her to the station, she looks terrified. Through the one-way glass, I watch her sit in the interrogation room, wringing her hands. Part of me wants to run to her, to believe this is all a misunderstanding. But I can't ignore the evidence. Detective Brooks enters the room. MRS. Davis, I need you to tell me about your relationship with Dr. Richard Chen. Mom's face crumbles. I want a lawyer. Those 3 words confirm everything. She knows she's guilty. Tyler squeezes my shoulder. I'm sorry, man. I can't speak. I just watch as Mom sits in silence, refusing to answer questions. The woman who raised me, who tucked me in at night, who cheered at my basketball games, she was willing to sell my organs for money. After an hour, they let her call a lawyer. Tyler and I leave the station, stepping into the afternoon sun. Everything feels surreal. Come stay with me, Tyler offers. You shouldn't be alone right now. I nod numbly. I don't know where else to go. I certainly can't go home. Over the next few days, the full story emerges. Detective Brooks keeps me updated as the investigation unfolds. Dr. Chen's license was suspended after a patient died during an unauthorized procedure. He'd been performing surgeries to harvest organs from unsuspecting patients, selling them on the black market to desperate recipients willing to pay huge sums. Mom had gambling debts, over $80,000 that I never knew about. Dr. Chen approached her 6 months ago with an offer, bring him a healthy young organ donor, and he'd pay her $150,000. I was the perfect target. Type O negative, healthy, trusting. She scheduled the knee surgery as a cover. Dr. Chen was planning to harvest one of my kidneys, possibly part of my liver, and who knows what else. The pre-surgery paperwork with the organ donation clause was his way of covering himself legally, though it wouldn't have held up in court. If you hadn't run, Detective Brooks tells me, you might have woken up missing a kidney. Or you might not have woken up at all. The words hit me like a punch. My own mother was willing to risk my life for money. The news breaks 3 days later. Local news stations run stories about the rogue surgeon and his organ trafficking ring. My name is kept confidential because I'm a victim, but people in my neighborhood figure it out quickly. I stay at Tyler's apartment, barely eating, barely sleeping. I keep replaying everything in my mind. Every doctor's appointment. Every time Mom encouraged me to trust Dr. Chen. Every sign I missed. Tyler tries to keep my spirits up, but even he doesn't know what to say. How do you comfort someone whose mother tried to have their organs stolen? On the 4th day, Mom's lawyer calls. She wants to see me. Absolutely not, Tyler says immediately. But I need answers. I need to hear her explain herself. So against Tyler's protests, I agree to meet her at the jail. She looks terrible, hair unwashed, eyes red from crying. When she sees me through the glass partition, she breaks down completely. Jordan, I'm so sorry, she sobs. I never meant for it to go this far. I was desperate. The gambling debts, the threats from loan sharks, I didn't know what else to do. So you decided to sell my kidney? My voice is cold. It wasn't supposed to be like that. Dr. Chen said it was a simple procedure, that you'd be fine, that you'd never even know. I would have known, Mom. You can't just steal someone's organs. She cries harder. I know. I know. I was stupid. I was selfish. I couldn't see another way out. I don't know what I expected from that conversation. An apology? An explanation that would somehow make it okay? There's nothing she could say that would justify what she tried to do. I leave the jail feeling emptier than before. Tyler picks me up, takes one look at my face, and drives in silence. That night, I finally break down. All the emotions I've been holding back come flooding out. Tyler sits with me, letting me cry, not saying anything because there's nothing to say. How do I move past this? I ask him. How do I trust anyone again? Tyler thinks for a long moment. You don't have to figure that out today. Or tomorrow. Just focus on getting through each day. The rest will come. Over the following weeks, I try to follow his advice. I see a therapist who specializes in trauma. I reconnect with old friends I'd lost touch with. I start playing basketball again, finding comfort in the familiar rhythm of the game. Slowly, very slowly, I start to heal. But I know I'll never be the same trusting person I was before. That version of Jordan died the moment I saw those words on the consent form. Dr. Chen is arrested 2 weeks later trying to flee the country. He's charged with fraud, practicing medicine without a valid license, conspiracy to commit organ trafficking, and attempted assault. Mom pleads guilty to conspiracy and receives a reduced sentence in exchange for testifying against Dr. Chen. She'll serve 3 years in prison. I don't visit her again. Tyler thinks I should cut her out of my life completely. Part of me agrees. But another part, the part that remembers bedtime stories and birthday cakes, can't quite let go. The trial becomes a media circus. I'm called to testify about what happened. Sitting in that courtroom, facing Dr. Chen, I feel both terrified and empowered. Can you identify the man who was scheduled to perform your surgery? The prosecutor asks. I point at Dr. Chen. That's him. He doesn't look at me. Just stares straight ahead, expressionless. The prosecutor walks me through everything, the consent form, my escape, the discovery of his suspended license. With each answer, I watch the jury's expressions harden. Dr. Chen is convicted on all counts. He receives 15 years in prison. As they lead him away, he finally looks at me. There's no remorse in his eyes. Just cold calculation, as if he's already planning his next move. 6 months after my escape, I'm finally starting to feel normal again. I've moved into my own apartment, away from all the memories. I've thrown myself into work, earning a promotion at my tech company. But some things have changed permanently. I question everything now. Every doctor's appointment makes me anxious. Every time someone offers to help me, I wonder what they really want. Tyler notices. You can't live like this forever, he says one night over dinner. You'll drive yourself crazy. How do I know who to trust? You don't. That's the thing about trust, it's always a risk. But you can't let one bad experience ruin every relationship. I know he's right. But knowing and feeling are two different things. I start dating again, cautiously. I meet Sarah at a coffee shop. She's kind, funny, patient with my guardedness. When I finally tell her my story, she doesn't run. She just holds my hand and says, "Thank you for trusting me with that." Those words mean more to me than she could possibly know. A year passes. I'm playing in a local basketball league when I notice a kid watching from the sidelines. He looks about 16, skinny, nervous. During a break, I walk over. "You play?" He nods shyly. "Not very well." "Want to shoot around after the game?" His face lights up. "Really?" We spend an hour on the court. His form is terrible, but he has heart. Reminds me of myself at that age. "What's your story?" I ask as we rest on the bench. He hesitates, then opens up. His dad's in prison. His mom works 3 jobs. He's basically raising his younger sister alone. "Sounds tough," I say. "It is. But I'm managing." He pauses. "Can I ask you something? How do you stay positive when life keeps knocking you down?" I think about my answer carefully. You don't always stay positive. Sometimes you fall apart. But then you pick yourself up, and you keep going. Because the alternative is giving up, and that's not an option. He nods slowly, absorbing this. "Hey," I say, "how about we make this a regular thing? Every Saturday, you and me, we practice." His eyes widen. "You'd do that?" "Yeah. I would." Mentoring Kevin becomes one of the best decisions I ever make. Teaching him basketball gives me purpose. Watching him improve fills me with pride. He reminds me that not everyone has ulterior motives. Some people just need help, and some people just want to help. It's that simple. Tyler notices the change in me. "You seem lighter," he observes. "I think I'm finally letting go," I admit. "Of the anger? Of the fear? I've been so scared of trusting people that I forgot how good it feels to connect with someone without constantly waiting for betrayal." Tyler smiles. "That's growth, man. I'm proud of you." That night, I do something I haven't done in a year. I write Mom a letter. Not because I forgive her, I'm not there yet. but because I need to say goodbye to the relationship we had. I tell her about Kevin, about Sarah, about my promotion. I tell her I'm doing okay. I don't say I forgive her. I don't say I'll visit. I just say, I'm moving forward. I mail a letter without putting a return address. I don't need her response. This is for me. 2 years after my escape, I'm invited to speak at a hospital ethics conference. They want me to share my story, to help medical professionals understand the importance of patient advocacy and informed consent. I almost decline. The idea of reliving that trauma publicly terrifies me. But then I think about other potential victims. If my story can prevent even one person from experiencing what I went through, it's worth it. The conference room is packed. Doctors, nurses, administrators, all watching me expectantly. I take a deep breath and begin. 2 years ago, I walked into a hospital for what I thought was knee surgery. I walked out having escaped an organ trafficking scheme orchestrated by my doctor and my mother. The room goes silent. I tell them everything. The consent form I almost signed. The suspicious phone call. The moment I decided to trust my gut instead of authority figures. The medical community relies on trust, I say. Patients trust that you have their best interests at heart. When that trust is broken, it doesn't just hurt one person, it damages the entire healthcare system. After my speech, several people approach me. One doctor, an older man with kind eyes, shakes my hand firmly. "Thank you," he says. "We need reminders like this. We get so caught up in procedures and protocols that we forget each patient is a person, trusting us with their life." The speech opens unexpected doors. I'm contacted by a patient advocacy group. They want me to join their board, to help reform consent procedures and improve patient education. I accept. It feels right, taking my trauma and turning it into something positive. At my first board meeting, I meet other survivors. People who were harmed by medical negligence, unauthorized procedures, misdiagnoses. Each story breaks my heart, but also strengthens my resolve. We work on new legislation requiring clearer consent forms, better oversight of surgical procedures, and harsher penalties for doctors who practice with suspended licenses. It's slow work. Bureaucracy is frustrating. But every small victory feels monumental. Sarah supports me through all of it. We move in together after 18 months of dating. She never pushes me to talk about mom, but she's there when I need to. One night, lying in bed, she asks, "Do you think you'll ever fully heal from this?" I consider the question. I don't think fully is realistic. Some wounds leave scars. But I'm learning to live with mine. They remind me that I'm strong enough to survive anything. She kisses my forehead. "You're the strongest person I know." 3 years after my escape, I get word that mom is being released early for good behavior. My stomach knots when I hear the news. Tyler asks if I want to see her. I don't know how to answer. Part of me wants closure. Part of me wants to stay far away. Part of me still loves her, despite everything. I talk it through with my therapist. "There's no right answer," she says. "Only what feels right for you." I decide to wait. If mom wants to contact me, she can try. But I'm not going to seek her out. 2 weeks after her release, she calls Tyler. She wants to see me. She has things she needs to say. I agree to meet her in a public place, a park near Tyler's apartment. Sarah comes with me for support, waiting on a nearby bench while mom and I talk. She looks older, smaller somehow. Prison-aged her. "Jordan," she says, her voice trembling. "I don't expect forgiveness. I just need you to know, I've spent every day of the past 3 years hating myself for what I did to you." I stay silent, letting her continue. "I was a coward. I chose money over my son's life. I don't have any excuse that makes that okay." "You're right," I say quietly. "You don't." She nods, tears streaming down her face. "I'm not asking for another chance. I just wanted you to know that I'm sorry. And I'm proud of the man you've become, despite what I did to you." Kevin graduates from high school and gets a basketball scholarship. At his graduation party, He pulls me aside. "I wanted to thank you," he says. "Not just for the basketball stuff, but for showing me that good people exist. That not everyone's out to hurt you." I feel tears prick my eyes. "You helped me too, you know. More than you realize." How you reminded me that trust isn't about being naive. It's about being brave enough to connect with people, even when you've been hurt before. He grins. "When did you become so wise?" "When I stopped being so afraid." That night, I reflect on my journey. 4 years ago, I was lying in a hospital bed, moments away from a nightmare. Now, I'm surrounded by people I love and trust. I'm doing meaningful work. I'm building a life I'm proud of. The scars are still there. I still have moments of anxiety, times when trust feels impossible. But I've learned that healing isn't about returning to who you were before. It's about becoming someone new, someone stronger, wiser, more aware. I've learned to listen to my gut. To question authority when something feels wrong. To protect myself without closing myself off completely. Most importantly, I've learned that surviving isn't enough. You have to figure out how to live again. 5 years after my escape, I marry Sarah in a small ceremony with close friends and family. Tyler is my best man. Kevin is there, now in college, still checking in with me regularly. Mom sends a card. She doesn't attend, I didn't invite her, and she respects that boundary. But her card is heartfelt, expressing pride and love without asking for anything in return. Maybe someday I'll be ready to have her in my life again. Maybe not. Either way, I'm okay. During our first dance, Sarah whispers, "I'm so glad you trusted your gut that morning." "Me too," I say, holding her close. I think about that morning often. 5 a.m., walking away from that hospital, terrified and uncertain. It was the bravest thing I've ever done. Not because it was heroic, but because it was hard. Because it meant trusting myself over everyone else. That decision saved my life. Not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually too. It taught me that I'm capable of protecting myself. That my instincts matter. That I'm stronger than I ever knew. As Sarah and I sway to the music, surrounded by people who genuinely love me, I realize something profound. The man who walked into Dr. Chen's office 5 years ago died that day. The man who escaped became someone new. Someone who knows that healing is possible. That trust can be rebuilt. That trauma doesn't have to define you. Someone who survived, and then learned how to live.